Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of the TypeScript series. And in this episode we are going to create a timeout command. Someone in the comments for the last episode actually requested moderation commands. Well, I'll show you how to make one moderation command, and it's basically rinse and repeat from there. Okay, so it's going to be the timeout command. So we're going to go ahead and let's install a dependency called ms. MS will allow us to be able to type like 3H for 3 hours on the timeout, stuff like that, or like 2D for 2 days. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Anyway, so we'll start by making our command. So we're going to make a new folder under commands called moderation, keep it tidy, and then in there we'll create timeout.ts. Now, as usual, we'll import command from the Sapphire framework and the application command registry. I forgot to do that last time. And we want to import our chat input command interaction, which we only need the type. We don't need the whole class. And we'll import our apply options for our decorators. So do our apply options here. So the name is going to be timeout, and the description is going to be timeout and member in the server. So that's a good description. Then we go ahead and export our class, which is going to be timeout command, and it extends command as my friendly little programming bud is suggesting. Alright, so first we're going to register the command. So, like we've been doing in the previous episodes, we'll do public override register application commands. And then in there we want to pass the registry, which is an application command registry, as Copilot is suggesting. And then we could do registry.register chat input command. And that's going to take a command. And then we could do command.setName, which is going to be this.name. And set description, which is this.description up here. And now we're going to need a user option, as Copilot suggests, because we need to know who we're timing out. So it only makes sense. And then we could just do option.setName as user. Set description, the user to timeout, that's fine. And yeah, we will require it, because we need a user to timeout. And then of course, we're going to add the duration of the timeout. So let's do add string option. And do option dot set name reason. No, we're doing duration right now. Set description. The duration of the timeout, yeah, that's fine. Set required. We're not going to require a duration because we're going to fall back to a default anyway. So that's fine. And then finally, as Copilot suggested, we do want a reason. So option reason. The reason for the timeout, yeah, that's fine. And we're not going to require it because we'll fall back to no reason provided. This is HostingBot, a cheap, fast and reliable hosting provider. They provide a range of affordable VPS plans to suit your hosting needs. And it gets even more affordable. Use code REVELATIONS at checkout, 30% off every month. If you're still in doubt, look at all these happy customers. So that's the registry. So now we're going to move on to the actual chat input run function. So we'll do public chat input run And that's going to take a chat input command interaction as we imported already. So first we'll start by getting the user. Interaction.options.getUser. So that's getting user from there. So remember, these have to match. Then we're going to want our duration, which right now we'll import ms. So import ms from ms, because we want to get our time in milliseconds ideally. So yeah, so we'll do ms, and inside that, exactly what Copilot is suggested. So interaction.options, and we're getting a string, and the string name is duration, because that's the name we applied here. And then if it's null or undefined, we'll fall back to 1 hour. You know, just timeout for 1 hour. So yeah, that's good. And then finally, we want the reason. So again, going to be interaction.options get a string, reason because that's the name we provided, otherwise no reason provided, like so. All right. So the next thing we need to do now is do some, well, role checks, I guess. Yeah, we'll do some role checks. So if user.bot, so if the user's a bot, we want to reply and say you can't time out bots. We'll set ephemeral to true so that only you can see the error message whoever runs the command. And now we're going to check the role hierarchy. So best way to do this, honestly, is there an add member option? No. All right. Okay. What we'll do is below this, we'll do a new variable for member. And exactly what Copilot's suggesting. Interaction, so from the guild, we're going to get the member object for the user provided. This will allow us to access that member's roles. So as Copilot is suggesting now, we're going to be checking if member.roles.highest.position, we actually want less than or equal to. Wait, no, that's not right. No, Copilot was right. Greater than or equal to interaction.member.roles.highest.position. We don't have the full object. Okay. Alright, tell you what, here's what we're going to do. Sorry about it. We're going to do interaction.userid for the member. And then we're going to swap this to less than or equal to. And we're going to create a new variable called target, which will be what we had initially. So now we can do target.roles.highest.position, because now we have the full member object. So basically, we're not going to allow the timeout to go ahead if the member has equal or higher roles. And as Copilot suggests, we want to reply with you can't time out someone with a higher role than you. That's fair enough. Alright, so now we've done those checks, we can actually execute the timeout now. So to do so, we're going to go ahead and let's say, I don't think a timeout could be any higher than 28 days. Yeah. Alright, so here's what we do. If duration is greater than ms 28 days, then let's change this to a let. Then we'll change duration to ms 28 days. Okay. I changed it to a let because you can't change a constant, if you don't know. But we're potentially changing the variable, so it has to be a let. Alright, so now we're going to execute the actual timeout. So we're going to do no, it won't be member, it's going to be target timeout. So we're going to take the timeout member, so number, duration. The number I believe is in milliseconds. So yeah. And then our reason. And that should realistically work. We'll change it to an async function up here. So public async chat input run. Then that way we can await the timeout. So that it will time out first, and then we can simply return interaction.reply. Content successfully timed out. Target.user.turn. I think we could just use user. I don't need that. For MS, I believe duration. Long true. Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with that. We won't ephemeral that one. Alright, so we'll go ahead and test it now. And I'll see you in the testing area. So first, just want to do TSC. And then... Alright, let's test. Alright, so now we're in the testing area. We'll go ahead and run timeout on Stasium. The duration, let's time him out for 3 hours. With the reason, because I can. So, timed out Stasium for 3 hours for because I can. And let's see if the timeout is active. Yep, as you can see, he has basically 3 hours remaining in timeout. We'll remove the timeout. And now we'll go ahead and test timeout on Stasium. We're not going to define a duration or reason. It's filed back to 1 hour with no reason provided. We'll see the actual timeout here. Basically an hour. We'll remove the timeout. And then one more thing just for role validation checks. We'll give him the plus role, which is equal to mine. And now if I go to timeout Stasium, you can't time out some of the higher role than you. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.